Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have mutually agreed to part ways.
Deplatforming works, and it is important.
Tucker is out, Joe Biden is in, Don Lemon is out, and none of those are really related at all. But some of the terrible takes from the media coming up on this episode of Daily Caller Live. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Jobob. Daily Caller Live starts right now.
2, 1.
Here we go!
That might be the only brown guy on earth named Jobob.
That is actually her name, Jobob.
Live from the dingy bunker, completely cut off from the outside world, except for you fine folks. My name is Jobob. This is Daily Caller Live. Thanks so much for tuning in on today. It is Tuesday, April 25th, the year of our Lord 2023. It's my wife's birthday. So happy birthday, babe. Love you so much. Also, lots of things happened in the world of politics, and I want to say politics and entertainment because I think those two are merged at this point. But lots happened yesterday. I don't know if you were aware. Tucker Carlson is out at Fox. This morning, we all woke up to the news that Joe Biden is in the race for 2024 and not related and not even close to near as important. Don Lemon is no longer at CNN, a shockwave sent around the country. But we got to get to this. There's a lot going on here with Tucker being out at Fox. Just in case you didn't know this, if you're watching this on any of the Daily Caller platforms, be it our YouTube channel, Facebook page, all of the above, Tucker Carlson founded the Daily Caller network, I believe in 2010-ish, 11-ish, not entirely sure. I probably should know that. But it is interesting to see it will be interesting to see what's going to happen here. First things first, even with the fact that Tucker did found this very network that we're on right now, I will tell you honestly and upfront, I have no insider information. I have a lot of speculation, and I think, one, we're all going to find out what actually happened at Fox. There's a lot of different theories, but I think I've got a pretty good one cooking. Before I share that with you, I want to jump to this. This is weird. The reaction to Tucker and Fox parting ways has been bizarre. I'm going to play this clip from The View with Whoopi Goldberg announcing that Fox and Tucker have decided to mutually part ways. And then we're going to discuss the verbiage around that news story. Check this out. And again, just bear with me. I know this is going to be kind of cringy for you, but there is a point here that I'm trying to make. Watch this.
Welcome back. Word has just come down that Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. We thank him for his service to the network and host of a prior contributor. Wave. We'll talk more about it tomorrow but we wanted to make sure that we let you know what was going on.
Well, can I ask the audience if they'll help me do something? Come on, folks. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Na 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 na. I mean, sayonara. I don't think anyone.
Yeah. All right. That's enough of that. It's interesting. Look, I get it. I understand that people on the lefty side of things really, really don't like Tucker. And that's fine. That's fair. You're allowed to do that. But the celebratory nature that was echoed all throughout lefty Twitter's, TV shows, specifically here on The View of, yes, he's gone, is weird to me. And I don't know how it became a sort of celebratory thing. I'm going to play a clip from AOC where she actually, interesting, she says some dumb stuff because that's par for the course for AOC. But at the same time, she also recognizes what I saw the entire day yesterday in this celebratory nature that Tucker Carlson is now gone from Fox. And what that recognition is that by all accounts, from a ratings perspective, from a popularity perspective, from so many different perspectives, Tucker is bigger than Fox News. And I'm not saying that in some sort of, I'm trying to be objective here. I like Tucker a lot. I'm not saying that to try and say, well, I love Tucker and Tucker. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look at this in a more objective standpoint of like, feelings aside, Tucker Carlson is big enough to the point where he can do whatever he wants on any platform. Maybe he comes back here. I don't actually know. Maybe he comes back to the platform, the network that he founded, and does a podcast, a TV show, whatever it is that he does or wants to do. Maybe he does that here. I don't know. But the bottom line is, and again, I'm going to play a clip from AOC where she kind of echoes this. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, Tucker Carlson has not gone away. At the end of the day, he's not going to have less of a viewership. At the end of the day, he's going to be bigger if he wants to do that, and that's assuming that he wants to. If he decides to do whatever he wants to do, wherever he wants to do it, it's going to be a bigger thing than when he was at Fox. He has a grip on his viewers and on his audience that he's able to take anywhere. And all of that is to say the whole celebration of, yes, Tucker Carlson is gone, is weird because it completely ignores the fact of like, hold on, there's a lot more that's going to come, and it's going to be worse for us. If you're a, an anti-freedom type person who doesn't like Tucker Carlson, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. But to pretend that this is all of us, pretend that you've won something here is odd. I want to get to some of the terrible takes from around the media around this, which, okay, what I don't want to do is make this an all about Tucker all the time show today. I do want to talk about some other ideas that are surfacing when it comes to, as it relates to this. Now, yeah, it relates to Tucker in a lot of different ways, but I think there's a bigger picture / bigger idea that's being played at that Tucker has found himself in the center of. Now, a lot of this, again, is related to this big breaking news story, but it's emblematic of something much, much bigger. Watch this from CNN a couple days ago with the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, in which he's talking about Fox and Tucker specifically, but says some stuff that outside of this specific, just in total, is just crazy. And remove Tucker, remove Fox. It is crazy that a senator is saying this. Watch this.
Look, Fox needs to reckon with the lies that it spread, and it may literally have to pay for the lies that it spread. But is it the role of government officials to demand that media organizations say things or tell media organizations what to put on their airwaves?
And so when it's that vital, I think we not only have a right to tell Rupert Murdoch and Fox what to do, but an obligation. And I hope people from one end of the country to the other will call up Fox and say, do what Leader Hakeem Jeffries and I asked for, which is stop the lies, say they were wrong, and report the news. You may have a different way of reporting the news than someone else, fine, but lying is not part of that different way and cannot be.
So,
okay, so it goes without saying, should people lie? No, absolutely not. But is lying to people outside of official capacity against the law? No, it is not. And therefore, it's scary when a senator is saying, Fox News should do this because I told them to. It's bizarre, it's weird, and it's not the only case. Next is a clip from AOC, who is... she fascinates me because she is wrong. I think AOC and I see a lot of the same things and just have polar opposite ways of solving any sort of issues. Anyways, watch this from AOC as she was on Jen Psaki's show over the weekend. Check this out.
Federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air and what isn't. And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence. Very clearly incitement of violence. And that is the line that I think we have to be willing to contend with.
Okay, yeah. Again, if you want to call something and therefore use that thing to justify censoring, probably an issue. And that we don't even need to talk about Maxine Waters inciting violence, the chancellor at UC Davis, Gary May, who I tweet daily asking for an apology, inciting violence when me and Charlie Kirk were up at that school. Yeah, the whole idea of government officials sanctioning censorship for things that they don't like scares me. I've always had the policy on this show. If you have good ideas, if you have good ideas and you express them well and effectively, people will attach themselves to your idea. And if you don't, that is the time where people like AOC, like Chuck Schumer, like a bunch of your lefties all over Twitter and the media resort to censoring because their ideas are bad and they can't convince people with just their ideas alone. They have to take down other people who have better ideas because they can't compete in the intellectual playing field. Lastly, one more clip from AOC. I want you to watch this. And this is where I was talking about earlier of I think she sees the same thing and looks at The View cheering and looks at Twitter going nuts like, yes, we did it. We got rid of Tucker. And I think she understands that. And then at the end, she says something that's just like, dude, all right, I was with you. And then what in the world? Check this out.
I also kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled. And then you see like the villain's like hand reemerge out to grip over like the end of a building or something. But deplatforming works, and it is important. And there you go. Good things can happen.
Dang it, man! Like, come on. She's like, yes. Look. It's weird that people are cheering. Like it's at the end of a Marvel movie when the villain like comes back, and she thinks Tucker's the villain. I don't. I'm just talking about what this looks like. Is it? Tucker is, if he wants to, he can do whatever he wants to do, and almost guaranteed it will be bigger than his show on Fox News. Maybe he starts another news media company. Again, maybe he comes back to the Daily Caller. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I haven't talked to anybody, but who knows? And then she goes just off the rails of deplatforming works. Okay, whatever. I want to get to some of the comments here because I think they're kind of interesting. First things first, Luis, thanks for pointing out. Creepy is that you wear the same smelly shirt every day. No, I wore this shirt yesterday, and because in light of news events that happened this morning, I thought it was appropriate to wear again today. It is the ever so popular Joe Biden catchphrase T-shirt that's available at any of my social media platform outlets. Other people saying I love the shirt. Here's one that's interesting. Don Lemon has a lot more to lose than Tucker ever will, which is the big kind of theme that I think we're all talking about in conservative spaces of he can do whatever he wants to do and will be bigger and more successful than probably he was at Fox. Marcel says that Tucker will come out on top. Yeah. That seems to be the consensus amongst pretty much anyone. Darlene says they just want to silence Tucker. That's absolutely true. And then Betty says that CNN lies. So just to quickly remark on the Fox case, okay. I said I would mention this in the beginning of the show. This is what I think is happening. I don't know. I'm not even going to give it a degree of confidence, because I have no idea how realistic this is. This just seems like the most possible thing in my mind. It would seem that the Fox brass, the upper leadership of Fox Media, having to have paid whatever, $700 million, some crazy amount of money to settle with Dominion, which was an interesting thing in and of itself. Maybe we'll talk about that at length when this is kind of all blown over. But that whole Dominion case is weird in that if you knowingly mislead people, is that okay? And I'm curious from a legal standpoint. So you talk about the whole election stuff, and that's what Dominion is filing a defamation suit about. Fox News knew that this was this, and they said this anyway. Okay, fine. But if we're being fair and consistent here, there's a very, very reasonable bill that happened in Florida in which all of the legacy media, all of the lefty channels called it the Don't Say Gay bill, which is horribly damaging to the public face of Ron DeSantis, to which does Ron DeSantis then have a defamation suit against everybody who called it the Don't Say Gay bill, knowing that that was not even close to the case in Florida. So again, it's kind of weird, it's kind of blurry, but that whole case, maybe we'll talk about that more as it goes on. Nevertheless, Fox did settle for $700-800 million with Dominion. And what I think happened is that Tucker was approached by the upper echelons of Fox and said, hey, you can't do this, you have to do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. We're happy to keep you. Again, I don't know. But I would imagine that Fox didn't want to actively get rid of their best-rated TV show. I have to believe that they didn't want to do that. But from a business standpoint, they had just lost $700 million and possibly could have seen themselves going to their hosts and going, hey, here's what you can do, here's what you can't do. And Tucker, being the person that he is, standing up for what he believes in and all of those things, I think probably said, nah, not going to happen. Not going to do it. You can't make me. I'm out. And then, therefore, effectively mutually deciding to part ways. Now, the way contracts work, people talking about, well, he got fired. I don't know. I don't know what the terminology is. There's a bunch of people on the internet saying, Tucker got fired from Fox. I don't think that's understanding the sentiment of what fire means. Getting fired means. I don't think that that's what happened. What I think actually happened is that after suffering a huge financial debacle in the Dominion lawsuit case, Fox was like, hey, they put a bunch of parameters up, and I think Tucker said, nah, not doing it. Can't justify it. Again, we'll all find out together someday. I think both sides are desperate to leak what their side of the story is, and I imagine we'll all find out later on. Look, yeah, see, here's some of these comments. Oops. Like this. Tucker did not get fired. Okay. Didn't say that. And he did not get fired. There's a lot of these. Yeah. But the way contracts work, again, I guess technically I don't know. It doesn't matter. The bottom line here is I think that's probably what happened. They said, hey, you got to stick within this box. Tucker said, no way, I'm out. And they agreed to part ways. So there's that. Oh, also, other big breaking news today, which is why I decided to wear this shirt. By the way, too, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of more fallout of the Tucker stuff. I don't really want to cover the back and forth of the internet bantering, but I do think it is fascinating to see some actual elected politicians say the things that they're saying, kind of using Tucker as a conduit to get to the fascist ideas that they actually have. So we'll keep talking about that. But as for I don't know, today we got to move on. Another big thing happened this morning. An ancient warlock that resides at the White House in Washington, D.C., announced that he's running for president of the United States, which is why I wore my famous Joe Biden catchphrase, "What?" t-shirt, as the man is mentally addled and very confused. I do want to play some of his video. I will, as a political sports observer, I think this is actually a pretty good ad. We're not going to play the whole thing, but I'm sure some of you in the comment section are going to be livid when you hear what the president says about how things are going. But in politics, if you're explaining, you're losing. The problem with conservatism is nuance is needed, and therefore we have to explain. And liberals/Democrats are very good at twisting words. They're so good at language, and that's evident in this video. Check this out. Another thing to watch for. We're not going to play the whole thing. It's like 3 minutes long. I'm going to play a couple clips. I want you to watch how much Kamala Harris is involved in this video. And then I want you to picture in Trump's re-election videos, in Obama's re-election videos, was Mike Pence a thing, and was Joe Biden a thing in those videos, respectively? In other words, did Trump feature Mike Pence as much as Joe Biden featured Kamala Harris? Did Barack Obama feature Joe Biden as much as Biden featured Kamala Harris? Did George Bush feature Dick Cheney? Dick Cheney wasn't featured anywhere at any point at any time. No, the answer is no. So I want you to watch for how much Kamala Harris is featured in this video, and we'll discuss on the other side. Check it out.
Freedom, personal freedom, is fundamental to who we are as Americans.
There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred.
That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy.
This shouldn't be a red or blue issue.
To protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally and that everyone is given a fair shot at making it. But you know, around the country, MAGA extremists are lining up to take on those bedrock freedoms, cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what health care decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love, all while making it more difficult for you to be able to vote.
There it is. A lot of Kamala Harris in this video. If you watch the whole thing, which, you know what, honestly, I would say you should. But yeah, Joe Biden is in. He's running for president again. Quick little diatribe here because this is where my brain is going. Lefties are so freaking good at manipulating language, calling it women's health care or build bridges, not walls, build schools, not prisons. All of the things that they say in terms of their campaign pitches are incredibly dishonest. However, they are good and they are effective. And I would love for the freedom side of the aisle to be better at that sort of thing. I don't really want to give any examples, but they're very, very good at language, as you see in this video, and we'll see. Now, kind of interesting, there was an NBC poll out over the weekend talking about the polling on the 2024 presidential election. In the comment section, really quick, I want you, let me know what you think. What percentage of Americans do you think want to see Trump, Biden, number two? Not like round two, not we don't want to see Joe Biden and Donald Trump take a number two. Get your mind out of the gutter. That's not what I was talking about. But 2024, how many Americans want to see Trump versus Biden round two, 2024? We'll give it a little bit of a second to see if anybody guesses the actual number here. But holy cow, the guy's going to run again. Now, it is going to be freaking fascinating to see how Democrats react to this. I think Joe Manchin is running. Robert Kennedy Jr. is running, that's a whole thing in and of itself. But there are Democrat. Marianne Williamson is also running. She's a hoot. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Democrat Party reacts. The DNC did announce that they're not going to hold any primary debates so that they are fully in the seat of Joe Biden. What's his face? Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks, who is not a conservative by any stretch of the imagination. Interestingly enough, tweeted this: the DNC has already announced that it will not allow any debates for the 2024 primary. Biden will not be challenged. Everyone on the Democratic side must shut up and fall in line, not having debates. And then he goes on to talk about that was what he's commenting on that, and then his remarks were, not having debates is undemocratic and ridiculous. No progressive should agree to this kind of power grab. Yeah, that's interesting. Going to be interesting to see how the Democrats view Joe Biden going forward. You know what? Really quick. Dang it. There's so much to talk about, so much to get to. Oh. Here's the answer. The poll. 5% of Americans want to see Joe Biden versus Donald Trump round 2 in 2024. So there's that. Let's see. I wanted to move on to this really quick. This is very, very quick. We'll briefly touch on it. Comrade Joseph Biden, D, Delaware, gave a speech yesterday in which he said one of the more indefensible things in terms of how people view the world. This is straight up communism. Check this out. It's very, very short, and we'll discuss it in the chat.
Rebecca put a teacher's creed into words when she said, "There's no such thing as someone else's child. No such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are all our children."
Yep. Okay. That is literally what communists do. The government and the state is responsible for raising your kid, not you. Which is two facets. One, the state wants to be able to indoctrinate any kids they want, and they do that through government-funded schools and so many other different ways that we should fight against constantly. And also, it absolves parents of responsibilities. You look at stuff like free school lunches. Dang it, I don't want to go on a rant about this. Freaking free school lunches. Nobody voted for that. Nobody said, hey, we should provide lunch to every kid in school. Do I want starving kids? Absolutely not. 100%. However, the one job you have as a parent is to feed your kids. And Ben Shapiro's pointed this out. If you can't feed your kids and you need the state to do so, why isn't CPS being called to escort your kids out of your care? Because you're clearly unfit as a parent to raise your kids. So this whole idea of no, this is not your kid. This is our kid. It's the state's kid. I can see how some people will think that sounds nice. However, absolving parents of the responsibility to raise their kids and allowing government institutions to continue to indoctrinate kids is not a good thing for anyone ever at any point. I think that's all we're going to get to today. Tomorrow, there's a New York Times piece that just came out. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but it is all about Dr. Fauci. It is the longest, let me see what they say. In his most extensive interview yet, Anthony Fauci wrestles with the hard lessons of the pandemic and the decisions that will define his legacy. Here's a quote and a teaser for tomorrow. I think we tried. This is Dr. Fauci. I think we tried. I know we tried. How effective we were, that's a different story. That is correct. Also, we'll talk tomorrow about this whole Montana transgender lawmaker causing a ruckus in the Montana state legislature. All of that we'll get to tomorrow, as well as anything that happens over the course of the next 24 hours. If you haven't already, give me a follow on any of your social media platforms. Just type in JOBOB. You'll be able to find me pretty much anywhere. Instagram is probably where I spend the most time, even though I don't really spend a ton of time on social media. Am I doing anything tonight? Am I on anything tonight? I know a lot of you are going to be disappointed, but I'm going on Fox News on Friday. Doing OAN today. You can catch me there. You can watch all those clips on any of the networks that you watch that I am also appearing on regularly. That'll do it for us today. Again, if you want the What Joe Biden commemorative t-shirt of his catchphrase of being confused, you can get that on any of my social media platforms. And on that note, we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, until always, God bless America.